Chapter 17. Who had made the strange pond? Who had made the strange pond? That is what Spotty the Turtle wanted to know. That is what Billy Mink wanted to know. So did Little Joe Otter and Jerry Muskrat and Grandfather Frog when they arrived. So did Ol' Mistah Buzzard, looking down from the blue, blue sky. It was very strange indeed. Never had there been a pond in that part of the Green Forest before, not even in the days when Sister South Wind melted the snow so fast that the Laughing Brook ran over its banks and the Smiling Pool grew twice as large as it ought to be. Of course, someone had made it. Spotty the Turtle had known that as soon as he had seen the strange pond. All in a flash he had understood what that wall of logs and brush and mud across the Laughing Brook was for. It was to stop the water from running down the Laughing Brook. And of course, if the water couldn't keep on running and laughing on its way to the Smiling Pond, it would just stand still and grow into a pond. Of course, there was nothing else for it to do. Spotty felt very proud when he had thought that out all by himself. "This wall we are sitting on has made the pond," said Spotty the Turtle after a long time in which no one had spoken. "You don't say so," said Billy Mink. "However did you guess it? Are you sure, quite sure, that the pond made the wall?" Spotty knew that Billy Mink was making fun of him, but he is too good-natured to lose his temper over a little thing like that. He tried to think of something smart to say in reply, but Spotty is a slow thinker as well as a slow walker, and before he could think of anything, Billy was talking once more. "This wall is what Farmer Brown's boy calls a dam," said Billy Mink, who is a great traveler. "Dams are usually built to keep water from running where it isn't wanted, or to make it go where it is wanted. Now, what I want to know is, who under the sun wants a pond way back here in the Green Forest, and what is it for? Who do you think built this dam, Grandfather Frog?" Grandfather Frog shook his head. His big goggly eyes seemed more goggly than ever as he stared at the new pond in the Green Forest. "I don't know," said Grandfather Frog. "I don't know what to think." "Why, it must be Farmer Brown's boy, or Farmer Brown himself," said Jerry Muskrat. "Of course," said Little Joe Otter, just as if he knew all about it. But still Grandfather Frog shook his head as if he didn't agree. "I don't know," said Grandfather Frog. "I don't know. It doesn't look so to me." Billy Mink ran along the top of the dam and down the backside. He looked it all over with those sharp little eyes of his. "Grandfather Frog is right," said he when he came back. "It doesn't look like the work of Farmer Brown or Farmer Brown's boy. But if they didn't do it, who did? Who could have done it?" "I don't know," said Grandfather Frog again, in a dreamy sort of voice. Spotty the Turtle looked at him and saw that Grandfather Frog's face wore the faraway look that it always does when he tells a story of the days when the world was young. "I don't know," he repeated, "but it looks to me very much like the work of—" Grandfather Frog stopped short off and turned to Jerry Muskrat. "Jerry Muskrat," said he, so sharply that Jerry nearly lost his balance in his surprise, "has your big cousin come down from the north?" Chapter 18. Jerry Muskrat's Big Cousin. "Fiddle faddle, feedle fuddle, was there ever such a muddle? Faddle feedle faddle fiddle, who is there will solve the riddle?" Here was the Laughing Brook laughing no longer. Here was the Smiling Pool smiling no longer. Here was a brand new pond deep in the Green Forest. Here was a wall of logs and bushes and mud called a dam, built by someone whom nobody had seen. And here was Grandfather Frog asking Jerry Muskrat if his big cousin had come down from the north, when Jerry didn't even know that he had a big cousin. I haven't any big cousin, said Jerry when he had quite recovered from his surprise at Grandfather Frog's question. Chug-a-rum! Exclaimed Grandfather Frog, and the scornful way in which he said it made Jerry Muskrat feel very small. Chug-a-rum! Of course you've got a big cousin in the north. Do you mean to tell me that you didn't know that, Jerry Muskrat? Jerry had to admit that it was true, that he didn't know anything about that big cousin. If Grandfather Frog said that he had one, it must be so, for Grandfather Frog is very old and very wise, and he knows a great deal. Still, it was very hard for Jerry to believe that he had a big cousin of whom he had never heard. Did you ever see him, Grandfather Frog? Jerry asked. No, snapped Grandfather Frog. I never did, but I know all about him. He is a great worker, is this big cousin of yours, and he builds dams like this one we are sitting on. I don't believe it, cried Billy Mink. I don't believe any cousin of Jerry Muskrat's ever built such a dam as this. Why, just look at that great tree trunk at the bottom. No one but Farmer Brown or Farmer Brown's boy could ever have dragged that here. You are crazy, Grandfather Frog, just plain crazy. Billy Mink sometimes is very disrespectful to Grandfather Frog. Chug-a-rum, replied Grandfather Frog. I'm pretty old, but I'm not too old to learn, as some folks seem to be. And he looked very hard at Billy Mink. Did I say that that tree trunk was dragged here? No, replied Billy Mink. But if it wasn't dragged here, how did it get here? You are so smart, Grandfather Frog. Tell me that. Grandfather Frog blinked his great goggly eyes at Billy Mink as he said, just as if he was very, very sorry for Billy. Your eyes are very bright and very sharp, Billy Mink, and it is a great pity that you have never learned how to use them. That tree wasn't dragged here, it was cut, so that it fell right where it was. As he spoke, Grandfather Frog pointed to the stump of the tree, and Billy Mink saw that he was right. But Billy Mink is like a great many other people. He dearly loves to have the last word. Now he suddenly began to laugh. Ha 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 ha! Ho 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 ho! Laughed Billy Mink. Ho 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 ho! Ha 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 ha! What is it that is so funny? Snapped Grandfather Frog. For nothing makes him so angry as to be laughed at. Do you mean to say that anybody but Farmer Brown or Farmer Brown's boy could have cut down such a big tree as that? Asked Billy. Why, that would be as hard as to drag the tree here. Jerry Muskrat's big cousin from the north could do it, and I believe he did, replied Grandfather Frog. Now that we have found the cause of the trouble in the Laughing Brook and the Smiling Pool, what are we going to do about it?